Hey guys, welcome back to our videos with SALTA all about your Junior Cert Spanish exam. So hopefully you've downloaded your notes for this second hack and hopefully you've actually been honest and watched the first video before this one. But what we're going to be talking about today is your verbs and your verb tenses. How and when to use them properly. I'm sorry, I know everyone hates them, but they are important and you do need to know them. What is so important about verbs? So a verb is a doing word. They tell us what is happening and what is going on. In any language, verbs are what make sentences make sense. If a sentence doesn't have a verb, it's not a sentence. So without a verb, nothing is happening in a sentence, so we can't really communicate properly. I know that's a lot of information to take in, so to break it down into 4 groups, what you're going to need to know for your Junior Cert exam are the infinitives, los infinitivos, or the names of the verbs. The present tense, el presente, what is happening now. The past tense, el indefinido, what happened in the past, obviously. And then the future tense, el futuro, which is going to talk about what will happen in the future. So, what I've done here, and stick with me on this, I know this looks like a lot to take in, is I've made a timeline of your verb tenses. I think the biggest thing is for a lot of people is it's one thing to learn a verb off, and I know a lot of my present and past students think that they can learn a verb off and that's fine. But you do need to know when to use it and you need to know what it means. So what I've done is I've put number 1 in the middle. Okay, number 1 is now. Okay, and that's in red. So if you look over at the red, then on the left we have el presente, the present tense. This is going to be used to talk about what you're doing now, what you do often, maybe what you do every day. I study Spanish every day. I watch my SALTA videos every day. I look over my verbs every day, which I'm hoping are 3 things that are true. So your keywords or your buzzwords that are going to help you look out for the present tense or you're going to use alongside the present tense are ahora, now, a menudo, often, muy a menudo, very often, and then todos los and cada, which are every. So that is when to use the present tense in a nutshell. Moving 1 up, okay, to number 2. So a little bit after the present, okay? So let's talk about tomorrow. So that is our futuro cercano, so the near future tense. And this is what we are going to do. So we're talking about the near future, tonight, tomorrow. Our keywords, mañana, esta noche, próximo, que viene, and then mes, semana, and mañana. There's no point knowing how to say next if you don't know how to say month or week or other words like that. So that's going to be number 2. Number 3 is even another step in the future, and that's going to be el futuro, let's call it normal, the normal future. So what we will do. In English, we would say, I'll study tomorrow, I will study tomorrow, okay? But in Spanish, this is more so, I will study Spanish in university in 6 years. It's a little bit further away in the future. So it's our distant future. Our keywords, cuando tendré, when I am, okay? Remember, you use tener for your age in Spanish. El año que viene, next year. En meses or años, so in however many months or years. And then again, próximo, next. So that's 1, 2, and 3. So now we need to look at 4 and 5. A little hack that I probably shouldn't be telling you as a Spanish teacher is, if you are somebody who struggles a lot with verbs, don't worry about number 5. I would also say don't worry about the normal future tense because you can get away with using the near future. But to give you everything you're going to need, I've given you all 5 verb tenses. So number 4 is 1 step back in the past. That's going to be our pretérito indefinido, the indefinite or the normal past tense. So this is used to talk about events, actions in the past, a completed, once-off event. I went to the shop yesterday. That has nothing to do with what you're doing today. It wasn't a habit, it was a once-off event. Your keywords, we have pasado, hace, ayer, el otro día, anteayer, anoche. So that is when to use the past tense in a nutshell. And then if you are a little bit more advanced or you think this is something you're going to need, we have el imperfecto. And this is what we call a descriptive tense. It describes all of our settings in the past. It talks about what we used to do, our habits. I studied Spanish every day in 3rd year. I used to study maths, but then I remembered I prefer Spanish. So, I used to do a menudo, a veces, cada día, en el pasado, cada lunes o martes, de vez en cuando, now and again. So guys, that's your timeline. What you need to do now is open your notes, practice those exercises, and make sure that you know the conjugations of each verb. I can't do that for you, so you're going to have to sit down and actually learn them off. I'm sorry, I know. But I hope this was of some help to you guys, and see you in the next video.